Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Saila, Dr. Asila and my fellow classmates. I am Ashiqah Farwin binti Muhammad Abdul Salim. Today I am going to present about a journal which is Elucidation of Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 Potential for Spore Production in Submerged Fermentation of Plant Raw Materials. In this website, I took this journal and the journal was published on 10 July 2017. I begin with the introduction. Bacillus subtilis is gram-positive, rod-shaped and spore-forming bacteria. Bacillus subtilis identified based on the morphology, physiology, biochemical properties, spore-forming and molecular sequence of 16S rRNA genes. It is also mainly found in soil, gastrointestinal tract of ruminant and humans. Now, we are going to focus on Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933. Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 was isolated from a dairy product called Yogu Farm, which has been extensively consumed by people without any negative reported side effects. Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 was also identified as an antimicrobial producing strain. One secondary metabolite of Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933, the bacteriocin subtilosid, has shown antimicrobial activity against pathogens such as Gardnerella vaginalis, but not against protective lactobacilli. After that, the spore of Bacillus subtilis is extremely resistant that allows the bacteria to survive in various extreme conditions such as heat, desiccation, chemicals, antibiotic, gamma radiation, ultraviolet and toxic substances. The spore release as survival structure during end of growth phase, and the spore formation, also known as sporulation, divides the Bacillus subtilis asymmetrically into genetic identical but different morphology compartments with bigger vegetative cell and smaller for spore. Submerged fermentation is the technique where bacteria are grown in liquid medium which is vigorously aerated and mostly agitate in contrast to solid media. This fermentation needs high amount of water, energy, space, and it is very expensive. Submerged fermentation is the best type of fermentation for the enzyme production from the bacteria. Submerged fermentation also easy to conduct and sterilization process and downstream process of the sample. The problem statement for this study is Bacillus subtilis is among wide variety of beneficial bacteria that has been recognized. However, the spore production of Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 is highly cost and not well studied. Therefore, the development of a low cost and competitive technology for the production of spore forming for this bacterium during the submerged fermentation is needed. The objectives are to gain a deeper fundamental knowledge of physiology of Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 and to further the development of technology through the submerged fermentation of a renewable and inexpensive agro-industrial lignocellulosic biomass that is abundantly available in Georgia. The methodology for this experiment is: first, growth condition and inoculum preparation. Second, cultivation condition. Third, cultivation in fermented. Fourth, spore counting. And lastly, cellulase and xylanase activity assay. For the result and discussion, based on the effect of carbon source and glucose concentration on the Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 spore production. Glucose serves as appropriate carbon sources for spore forming by Bacillus subtilis Cadmira 1933 with 2.3 times 10 to the power of 9 spore per mil, followed by sucrose, xylose, glycerol, and lastly the control. If we focus only the glucose, maximum spore yield in glucose was achieved at the lowest glucose concentration, which is 0.2% of glucose. A further gradual increase in the concentration of glucose was accompanied by a decrease in a spore yield. A complete glucose depletion at the end of cultivation with the exception of 0.5% glucose containing medium, where the sugar was detected after 72 hours of growth. Therefore, the depletion of carbon source is the main stimulation for sporulation by Bacillus subtilis cadmira 1933. Besides that, based on the effect of lignocellulosic growth substrate on Bacillus subtilis cadmira 1933 spore production, 10 lignocellulosic materials with different chemical composition were selected to evaluate Bacillus subtilis cadmira 1933 spore production after 3 days of submerged fermentation. Among these growth substrates, mandarin pills provide the highest yield of spore, which is 57 plus minus 8.1 times 10 to the power of 9 spore per mil. Mandarin pills produce highest spore yield because of mandarin pills chemical composition, which is 21% of cellulose, 13% of hemicellulose, 13% of pectin, and 1.2% of nitrogen, 32% of water-soluble sugars and organic acids. Thus, the lignocellulosic material may be exploited as growth substrate for the cultivation of spore-forming bacteria. Furthermore, based on the effect of nitrogen sources on Bacillus subtilis cadmira 1933 spore production, several inorganic salt and organic compounds were tested as nitrogen sources in addition to the nitrogen already available in the mandarin pills. Among them, peptone provided accumulation as high as 66 times 10 to the power of 9 spores per mil, almost a three-folded increase in spore count as compared with the control medium. Therefore, the positive effect of peptone may be attributed to the higher biomass production and increased sporulation efficiency owing to the maintenance of the comparatively high pH of the medium. In a nutshell, the complex sporulation media commonly used in laboratory, which is the simple and cheap medium development, provided formulation of at least 6.5 times 10 to the power of 10 spore per mil. It also enables the large-scale production of a low-cost probiotic for biotechnology applications. The exploitation of lignocellulosic material with an appropriate chemical composition for the Bacillus subtilis cadmira 1933 is a reasonable way to achieve high cell density and optimum sporulation. For summary of this study, glucose produced maximum spore yield at the lowest glucose concentration. Mandarin pills provide the highest yield of spore due to the mandarin pills chemical composition, and positive effect of peptone may be attributed to higher biomass production and increase the sporulation efficiency. Therefore, exploitation of this lignocellulosic material with an appropriate chemical composition for the Bacillus subtilis cadmira 1933 is a reasonable way to achieve high cell density and optimal sporulation. These are the references. So that's all for me. Thank you.